Okay, let us know if we're on frame. Good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Do I have your consent to start our session today?
Sure you do.
Okay. And just wanted to give you a disclosure that everything we talk about today, it stays in this room. If you are going to delve into some heavy subjects, I just want to give you the comfort that everything stays in this room because it is a lot of confidential information. And with that being said, I just wanted to ask how you're doing today and if there's anything in your mind.
Yes, I am doing okay. I am under a lot of pressure with schoolwork and the ability to find a placement and also financial difficulties. So I'm juggling both three issues and it's a heavy load on my mind.
Right. First of all, I'm sorry, you're going through a lot. And secondly, you mentioned three things, right? You mentioned financial difficulties, you're under a lot of stress, and the other factor as well. So I guess we can take it one at a time. Would you like to delve into one of these things and kind of explain why it's bothering you?
Well, my age I put into consideration because I haven't worked long enough to make enough pension. That's why I came back to work in order to qualify to work, to take new trainings.
Yeah.
That has been a lot of stress. And now I have to look for my own placement on my own.
Yeah.
That's another.
I see.
So both of them make it impossible for me to make a financial income.
Yeah.
That's how they're interrelated to me. And
Yeah.
each one of them is a pressure point.
Oh yeah. And it's definitely a lot, but you are here in this present moment. You are doing the session with me, and I commend you for taking the time and effort to kind of just be in this present moment in spite of the obstacles you're facing. But I am curious, is there anything, because you mentioned that you're under a lot of pressure, is there anything that gives you relief and comfort? Any activities that you do that takes away from all this intensity and pressure?
Nothing physical right now, but I do go to a lot of meetings and you feel like the meetings are helpful, and I like to be able to go to a lot more meetings of the Alcoholics Anonymous, which was part of my recovery program.
Yeah.
And the pressures from these three issues are limiting my ability to make enough meetings.
Right. And I am curious, when you go to these meetings, what type of emotions are you feeling? Like, are you feeling like joy or comfort, relief, or anything along the lines of those emotions? Or I just want a general vibe of when you go into these meetings, what type of emotions enter your body?
I feel some kind of relief listening to other people's experiences and ways they handle recovery. So it's some kind of relief when I do, and the more I go, a lot of time, the more positive effect it does have on me.
And so I want to kind of dig a little bit more into this. So describe to me an ideal schedule and activities in terms of, let's say we're entering this room, right? Your ideal environment. You like to be in this environment of group meetings. describe to me like what exactly goes into it, like the day-to-day activities, what type of things are talked about, if you don't mind, and how it kind of makes you feel some sort of relief.
Okay, we talk about the complete change of lifestyle, not just abstinence.
Yeah,
We walk through the steps, which involves a lot of directional changes in behavior and thought processes. So we go into where you take inventory, more or less like daily, everyday journaling. And I like to make enough time to do that without the pressure of thinking the time I take off should be spent
yeah,
and making effort to compensate myself financially.
I see. And everything that you mentioned, like for example, you mentioned like things like journaling and all these things, it gives you like, relief when you're there. And so I'm just wondering, ideally, perhaps in the future, describe to me kind of your ideal routine in terms of what it would look like and the type of routine where you feel like happy and it makes you kind of feel joy. So whether it's like group meetings, diaries, or please describe to me what this ideal environment and people looks like to you.
An ideal environment would be having to attend a meeting or a place of work or something that I do not have to carry the load home, such as going back from school and having to work on assignments and having to worry about where to look for the materials. Those are the extra load that put a lot of pressure on my day-to-day. Whereas when I go out to meetings and meet other people and listen and try to see how I can inculcate that into my own schedule, but it is a little difficult because we are not on the same page. People that are not going through the training and having to deal with the take-home assignments.
Yeah, for sure. And hopefully in our next session, because today we talked about a number of things, but as you mentioned, there's a lot of other factors that you mentioned stresses you out. But hopefully in our next session, we can also do another rundown of all the other factors that give you problems, and then we can kind of everything that we did today, do it in a similar way in our next session. For example, we can, as you mentioned, you mentioned like the importance of journals and diaries.
Yes.
Perhaps maybe in our next session, perhaps as a question to you, would you like, for example, me bringing like a blank paper and some pencil crowns, and we can kind of draw out some things as perhaps a way to kind of like look at your concerns? Is that something you would be interested in?
That might sound good. It would be something to look at.
For sure.
Sure.
For sure. Thank you so much for your time, and hopefully in our next session we will talk about your other issues that are plaguing you.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
That was short.